Good morning, everyone, and welcome to F&S at Midnight. I am Francois T, and I'm joined by the lovely Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Francois T.
I feel like we're on, like night radio or something.
Yes, fancy night radio that people listen to driving home in their very long days.
Well, speaking of which, we are like a radio. If there's anything that you would like to let us know, or would like for us to read out on the air, let us know, and we certainly will. We hope that you've had a wonderful weekend so far. And if you're not from Australia, then you're probably still celebrating your Sunday, which is totally fine. But anyway, I thought that I would have a random chat and see if anyone showed up. And we can talk about whatever you like, ranging from the weather to any social issue to thumbs down when it comes to YouTube, which is a very sore topic. Okay, well, let's move on to the first thing that I'm going to be discussing today. And I think I've just lost communication with Sarah, but that's okay. I'm sure she'll be back very soon. And I would like to talk to you all about shows that are coming up very soon on this channel, because I think that is a good topic to start off talking about. And I think Sarah has returned. Hello, Sarah.
Sorry about that. We're only a few seconds in and I already had technical difficulties.
That's not a problem at all. You're back with us.
If anyone can suggest some cheap yet good quality earphones, that would be great, because mine apparently suck.
Yes, please do so. I honestly don't even remember where I got mine. I think I've had them for a while, but yeah,
It's quite lovely, but I have terrible luck with earphones.
Oh, Lady Jazz is here. Hello, Lady Jazz. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so just quickly talking about earphones, I had a lot of bad luck with earphones when I was younger. I used to buy them and literally like maybe a week or so later, they would just stop working, and it really upset me. And then one day I went to, I think it was like Target or something, and I spent $10 on a pair of earphones, which is a lot of money, or was a lot of money for me. And I've had them for years. I still have them, and I don't have a problem with them. That's opposed to my headphones that I'm using now. My earphones that I use is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Look, maybe I should get some headphones. What do you think, guys? Headphones or earphones? What works better?
Francois T's for headphones, but you let us know. So
look into that.
Yeah. So what I thought we might do is discuss, I was just saying this while you were away, Sarah, that we might discuss shows that are coming up on Comment Below and Let Me Know, because we've got a few that are coming up. And I thought we could talk about them, and obviously I've seen all of them, so I can talk about them, and if you have as well, we can discuss what might be coming up soon in the future. But before we do, Lady Jazz says headphones.
Headphones.
Woo! Two for headphones. Yay.
Majority rules.
Yes, exactly right. So now you can go and get yourself some headphones.
Maybe for these special impromptu live chats, they might work better.
Exactly.
Microphones? I don't even know, guys. I've never used headphones before.
Well, mine does. Mine has a built-in microphone, but unfortunately, for some reason, my PC only has one, I don't know what you call this, guys, so forgive the word, one sort of hole that I can stick it into.
Headphone jack?
Yeah. So my actual, the cable of my headphone has two connections. One is for the headphone, one is for the microphone. But the PC only has one hole that I can use. So I have to choose one. And
which one shall he choose?
Not to hear or to use a microphone. So
yeah, what shows are we chatting about, Francois?
So first of all, even though it did start last week, a show that has come back that I've all pretty much decided I'm not going to talk about on the channel, but I did just quickly want to bring up, because I have now seen the pilot episode, South Park has come back. Now, I don't know if you have watched South Park, Sarah, or not.
Very way back in the day when I was a little child.
There you go. So very interesting. Now, I know that some people find the show rather offensive, and I can understand that. And then there are other people who South Park may be offending, that they just find it funny anyway. For me, I try and learn lessons from it. One of the things that I enjoy about South Park is that Matt and Trey, all who are the creators of South Park, they always try and they take 1 week to create an episode. And so the reason why they take a week and do it within a week of the air date as well is because they want to use current issues that are happening. So the last season was really terrible, and the reason for that was South Park is known as a show that has completely separate episodes. You can go to any episode, it doesn't matter, you won't have
Not a running storyline or anything, is what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. However, last season was a running storyline, and it upset a lot of people, including me. It was terrible because they were talking about political correctness, and that's great. It's a wonderful topic, but to talk about it for a whole season was really annoying. Apparently, Matt and Trey got so many complaints, they said they won't do that again. So they're going to go back now to separate episodes, which is great. And I just came off about an hour or so ago watching the pilot episode, and it was really good. They were basically mocking Siri.
Really?
And this Google, apparently there's another sort of Siri that's like it's not a mobile, it's something else, or a cell if you're in America, with something else, and I forgot what they called it. But anyway, it's a Google thingy, some Google thing. Yeah, so anyway, that was interesting. So if you watch South Park and you love South Park, let me know. If enough people like it, I might have a bit of a discussion about it, but I am mindful of the fact that some people do find it quite offensive, and so that's why I'm going to be
pretty controversial.
Yeah, so I've got to be very careful with talking about it. If I was to talk about it, what I would do would be talking about the topic that was brought up rather than the offense. So, for example, if I spoke about last season, I would say South Park this season spoke about political correctness. Let's talk about that, rather than saying this is what happened in the episode. But I am open-minded to that.
So, Lady Jazz says, I have been loving Big Bang Theory lately.
Oh, there you go.
Have you ever watched that show?
I used to watch Big Bang quite a bit. I haven't seen
Big
it
Bang
for a while. So I'm guessing that means it's still going?
I think so. I think season 10, if I'm correct,
Oh,
is out. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it in a while, but I did enjoy that show. It's a very lighthearted and funny thing to watch when you just want something funny to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I used to watch it, and I actually had quite a soft spot for Sheldon. When I watched it, yeah, I was like, oh, I mean, I know that he's very different, but he's very
annoying,
intelligent.
but he's also lovable in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of, you like his quirks, even though sometimes you're like, okay, Sheldon, just stop.
Yeah, that's true. You're sitting in my spot.
I had a soft spot. No, actually, all of them really. I think Raj and what's the other guy's name?
Howie or Leonard.
Howard.
Yeah, Howard. Yeah.
I loved them both because their little bromance thing was just really funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Lady Jazz also said it's called a port.
Oh, thank you.
But it's also called a jack. You can call it a jack or a port that you plug your things into, like your headphones and that.
Well, either way, thank you to both of you for telling me.
You're on your computer's holes.
Yeah, if I don't know what something is, I certainly simplify it. So it was a hole for a very long time. There's one hole on my computer. Okay, so it's a port or a jack. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We learn new things on this channel. New things every day.
We do. It's so much fun. All right, so what's coming up? Okay, well, Survivor's coming up. I'm going to be reviewing the first episode of American Survivor. Australian Survivor has started, and quite frankly, I was so let down by the season last year that I'm not watching it this year. Yeah,
I mean, I've never really watched. I mean, there's probably a lot of shows that I don't watch. Survivor was never really one of them. Actually, back in the day, quite a few years ago. I mean, I'm talking like, when I was a teenager, and I'm now
Yep.
almost 28. So,
So a while ago.
quite some time ago. But yeah, not recently, unfortunately.
Was that American Survivor that you were watching, or Australian? Yeah.
I think it was American, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I've always loved Survivor. I watched it pretty much from 3/4 of the way through the very first season and have stuck it out.
Good on
So,
you.
yeah, thank you. So, I love the strategy behind it. But in saying that, some people like it, some don't. So I'm going to review the first episode and sort of take it from there. If people enjoy the reviews and want me to keep going, I'll keep doing them. And if not, then I will let that one go.
That one,
So,
axe it.
yeah. But here's one that I could spend like literally hours talking about. In Australian time, Australian Eastern Standard Time specifically, but airing in America on Friday the 29th of September at 11 o'clock a.m., it will be the first comeback episode of Will and Grace.
How
And
very
I'm
specific of
so
you.
excited. Well, I have that in front of me on my lovely calendar, you see. Yes, Will and Grace Season 9, Episode 1, entitled 11 Years Later.
You know what? That's actually pretty cool. And like as I said, it's one of the I've said before, it's one of those shows that I did watch back in the day, and I don't remember a whole lot from it. But it is one of those light-hearted sitcom kind of shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would get into the new one.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, how many seasons are in the original?
There are 8.
Wow. Well, I don't think I'm going to catch up on all that before the new season.
Probably not for the new season.
No.
But yeah.
Alias is here. Hi, Alias.
Hi, Alias. Thank you so much for joining us. So we are talking upcoming shows that I'm going to be covering on my channel. Feel free to chime in with any thoughts, comments, or questions, or even theories about what you think might be coming up.
Anything in general. Anything you want.
Yeah, if you want to change the topic. We used to do this thing back in primary school or elementary school if you're in America called silent writing. I'll never forget it. Did you ever do that, Sarah?
I'm pretty sure we did that as well.
It was interesting. So basically what we would do is the teacher would pair you up with someone in the class, hand out pieces of like blank A4 paper. All you could have on the desk was that and a pen each or a pencil, depending on what grade you're in. And then the teacher would say, okay, silent writing starts now. And you weren't allowed to talk, but you had to communicate with your partner through the paper. So you had to write things.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and then what would happen, which I would never do nowadays, but what would happen at the end is that the teacher would ask one of the pairs to stand up and read what's on the paper. And I'll never forget a lot of my chats would go something like, hi, how are you? I'm good, how are you? The weather's great, isn't it? Yes. Would you like to change the topic? Yes. I like bikes, so do I. Would you like to change the topic? Just go on and on and on.
I remember when I was younger playing a game where the first person writes the start of a sentence, and it's basically along the lines of two people that meet. So you say the boy's name, the girl's name, kind of silly thing like that. And then you fold the piece of paper over so the next person can't see what you've written. There is a general outline of the story, like the direction, but basically it's free reign for whatever you want to write. So at the end, you have this really weird story, but it's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, I remember that game actually.
Have you ever played something like that?
I have, yeah, and you fold the paper over once you've written your thing. Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, I want to do that.
Just want to say a quick hello to Chase, my little bro, has joined us.
Chase.
And Alias says, we lost our first game but dominated our second. Oh, fantastic, Alias. That you dominated the second. And yeah, I mean, I guess the aim of the game at the end of the day, at least the way I see it, is that you're having fun. So I hope you're enjoying yourself. So just quickly back onto Will and Grace. One of the things that I want to say that I love about Will and Grace is that for back in the day when it first started, it was huge for the gay community when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first comedy I'd seen that deals with gay people. And the writers made it very plain from the get-go that there would be no apologizing for being gay or like full on everyone has to come out and be uncomfortable around each other. We're just going to go right in and, you know, basically act like it's normal.
And that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I fell in love with the show, and I must say, if you are a Will and Grace fan like me, let me know what you like about it or who your favorite character is. Despite the fact that I am gay myself, I must say, my favorite character is Karen Walker. I just find her so hilarious. She is fantastic at what she does with all her uppers and downers. Not that I condone uppers and downers, but she's just really funny. There we go. And actually, the actress who plays Karen Walker, here's a bit of trivia, her name is Megan Mullally. Megan actually wrote to the people that she worked with on Will and Grace. She wrote them an email and just jokingly said, why can't we bring the show back? And apparently the producer or something like that, I don't know, wrote back to her saying, well, we can. And that's sort of how things got started.
I'm all for bringing back old sitcoms to reality. I'm all for that. There are a few sitcoms from back a while ago, a few years ago, that I would definitely think would be awesome to bring back now. So
me too.
Yay for them.
Yeah, exactly. Woo! So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I can't wait to do my first review. And expect me to be just as happy as I was pissed off when I spoke about the finale of Pretty Little Liars or when I spoke about Sharapova. I'm going to be like really happy when I do my review. Like, yay, it's back, woo! Sort of thing.
You'll be very, very excited.
I will be. Now, 1 hour after that, Australian Eastern Standard Time, Friday the 29th of September at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Season 4, Episode 1 of How to Get Away with Murder is coming back. I'm very, very excited about this. This is another mystery show, and I'm very excited that we're going to have the chance to theorize again. So very happy about that. Sarah, have you seen How to Get Away with Murder?
Look, no.
That's okay. That's totally fine.
But it's okay because a lot of people have, and I'm guessing people like it. So
yeah,
that's cool.
It's pretty cool. What I like about How to Get Away with Murder, without giving away anything at all to anyone who hasn't seen it, is the style. Basically, you'll have the first episode of a season where you'll see something dramatic that's happened, and then they spend the rest of the season they go back in time after the dramatic event and spend the rest of the season filling in the blanks of what you don't know, leading back up to that moment. So yeah, that should be interesting, and hopefully we can do a lot of theorizing when that comes out.
Definitely.
Oh, now, interesting that I didn't mention this. On the 21st of September, so I'm going back a little bit now, at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, on the USA Network, there will be Part 8, Season 1, Episode 8 of The Sinner, which will be the finale of The Sinner. Now, I was going to do a review of last week's episode and next week's one. I'm not going to do that anymore, but I am up for doing a chat after the finale if enough people want to do it. So if you do, certainly let me know.
Now, this is a show I've actually watched.
Yay!
I don't keep up with a lot of current shows, but it is one that I've definitely got into. And actually, our good friend Marissa just ordered the book because there is a book version, and it's German, I think she said. So now she's currently reading the book for The Sinner. So that's pretty interesting, and it'll be interesting to hear her take on everything, having read the book and watched the show as well. So
yeah, definitely. No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So I'm very excited to chat about that show.
No, completely agree. It's so interesting comparing and contrasting books to shows and books to films. I mean, as we can say so with Harry Potter as well,
Yeah.
as a great example. So I would love to know. That's really awesome. So thank you, Marissa, for getting both of us onto it anyway.
Yeah.
It's a great show. If you like theorizing and stuff like that, you will enjoy The Sinner.
And sort of our psychological type thrillers, I guess. Would you class it as a psychological thriller?
I would class it as a psychological thriller, and I would say be prepared. There might be some confronting moments.
Yes, definitely in this one. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's a PG.
No.
But, it's not a PG show, so.
No. But the good news is, if you do want to watch it, and keeping in mind all those things we have just said, the finale is only the 8th episode, so there are only 7 other episodes if you want to catch up. So
yeah,
it won't take that long.
Only an 8-part episode. All the answers are given to you within the 8 episodes.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
And Jessica Biel is the main actress in it, and she's quite lovely in it. I do enjoy her in this role.
Yay, me too.
Yay.
So good. For those of you who may or may not remember, Jessica Biel was one of the stars on the hit show Seventh Heaven. She played Mary Camden for a
Yes,
little while.
good old Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Some of the younger audience members
probably
know that show, but
probably
I don't remember it.
It's a great show, Seventh Heaven, I must say. Like, as someone who's not religious, and religion does find its way into Seventh Heaven because the father of the family is a minister. But it's not shoved right in your face. It's more like a family show.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more of like a family drama, coming of age for the children and the teenagers, and just daily issues that people might go through within families and stuff like that,
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the whole family nature of the show. It's just a nice thing to watch, I found.
Yeah. Oh, yay. So, yeah, give that a watch if you haven't seen it before, and let me know what you think. It's a really good show. Alias says that he's happy to be able to join the family again. Well, it's been a while since we've seen Alias because he's been at school and busy with other things, which we understand. But it's great to have you here, Alias.
Definitely.
I really appreciate you being here. Chase says, win or lose, Alias is still a winner to us. Aw, that's so true, though.
So if anyone wasn't here, and I'll just quickly add this in, before Francois, myself and our friend Marissa did a chat about marriage equality and the marriage postal survey.
Yeah.
We did a video just a few hours ago if you want to check that out and hear what we're chatting about.
It was really interesting. Yeah, certainly.
We had a lot to talk about in relation to that entire subject.
Yeah.
And more, so check it out.
It was good. Yeah, let us know what you think. It was very, very interesting.
It certainly was.
And Alias says, I'm happy you, I think he means me, that you enjoyed the new episode of American Horror Story and starting to think that it is a murder mystery and the identity of the clowns matter. Yeah, thank you, Alias. So American Horror Story is a series that has already started. That's why I hadn't brought it up. But since you have, yeah, look, definitely enjoying it. There are mystery aspects to American Horror Story. And the acting of Sarah, I believe her name is Paulson or something, is brilliant. I'm loving her like more and more. Every time I see her, I think she's amazing. But yeah, definitely loving it, and I definitely want to work out the identity of the clowns for sure. I don't know why, but ever since watching the show We Don't Name, anyone that's covered in a mask of any kind, I just have to know who the heck they are. Like it's exactly the same with The Sinner. Again, without giving anything away, there's someone in a mask, and I'm wondering who the heck they are. Because, yeah, I don't believe it's the person that they're trying to say it is.
No.
Without giving anything away.
Well, we will chat more about that.
Yes, we will. And just quickly, Chase says, Ivy is evil. Evil! Lol. Yes, I completely agree that Ivy could be evil, definitely shows the potential. And we can certainly, if there's enough people that want to do a live chat about American Horror Story, I'm more than happy to do that. It probably won't go for too long. I'd say maximum of an hour, maybe even a half-hour one. But if you guys want to do a live chat on American Horror Story, I'm more than happy to do that. Let me know in the comments below once the video is uploaded, and I'll try and sort something out for a live chat for that one, because it is a really fun show to talk about.
Fun.
Sorry?
I was going to say yes, fun. And
Fun in its
mind-boggling.
All right, now quickly jumping on to October, which is not too far away. What is coming back is what I call animation sensation. Now, I used to do something where I did the odd animation sensation review here and there. I don't know if anyone wants me to do it now, but as of in Australian time, Monday the 2nd of October, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and Family Guy are all coming back, especially for The Simpsons season 29, everyone.
You know what? We should definitely do a Simpsons chat.
We should.
Because that is like one of the longest running, or it is the longest running cartoon.
Yes, it is. I believe it is the longest running show on television.
And that's just like, you know, we've all grown up with The Simpsons. People back when I was a child knew who they were. People now that are kids know who they are.
Yeah.
I reckon we should totally get into a Simpsons chat because there's a lot to talk about.
That would be awesome. There is a lot. I mean, so much has happened over 28 seasons. I still remember, especially for the sake of the quality, season 1.
Oh, season 1 was so, I mean, we can chat about it a little bit now if you want, but season 1 was so different. And as I said, I'm pretty sure it started, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in 1989, which is the year I was born.
Wow.
I think so. That makes sense because I'm almost 28 and you said 28 seasons.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, check it out. Look up when it started.
I know. I'm just quickly checking that up right now. Yes, correct. 1989.
There you go. So the year I was born, it started. So I was lucky I got to be, I mean, I didn't watch it when I was that little, of course. But
I watched it when I was a baby.
Maybe I did, but I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, true.
But the quality was so bad in that first season, like terrible. Their voices were different, the drawing was different.
Yeah,
so good still. So good.
Very, very true. So very different. And it actually started off on this show, which I'm still trying to work out what it is, but there was a show called The Tracy Ullman Show, and suddenly they would just break off into an episode of The Simpsons, sort of like Simpsons do with Itchy and Scratchy. This Tracy Ullman Show just would break off to an episode of The Simpsons. Yeah. And then it became its own thing, which is fantastic.
And aren't we happy about that? Because what a thing it has become.
So true. So true. I think like everyone I know knows of The Simpsons at the very least, or they've seen it, they can quote it, or they at least know one thing from it. You know, so it'd be great to do a chat on The Simpsons. We might just quickly refer to some comments, and then yeah, we might come back to that in a moment. So Alias says, once you're done with Colt, we should do other seasons. Yeah, certainly it'd be an idea to potentially look at other seasons if I have time.
You should get into which one? The Coven one, the Witches one? You might find that one interesting.
Ooh, there we go.
And I've watched that one, so I can definitely chat about it with you guys.
Oh, yay. Okay, well, that could be good.
Yeah.
I might do that. Where are we? Sorry. Chase says that he might dress up, as Pennywise the clown for Halloween. And Alias says he'll probably be a clown as well.
Everyone's going as clown.
No, why not? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll be dressing up for Halloween. It's not so big over here in Australia. Last year I dressed up as the Angel of Death from Charmed. But I don't know if I will. I do still have my conical hat. I bought a conical hat last year. There was a sale at one of the stores during Halloween, and I bought a conical hat.
Maybe we could do a Halloween video despite the fact that you're in Australia, so you can kind of get into it.
That could be interesting. But
dress up and thing.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting. I wouldn't actually mind doing that. But I will say that I'm definitely going to watch Hocus Pocus. It's not a tradition for me, but I have been thinking about it for the last couple of weeks that I'm going to watch Hocus
Yes, definitely. That's a good movie.
Pocus. So yeah, so that will be really cool. And if you guys like in the lead up to Halloween want to talk, I don't know, like Halloween movies or anything like that, we can certainly do something Halloween themey.
Yeah,
That'd be great. I'm
we
open
can
to
pick up some
suggestions.
different Halloween-related topics, and
Yeah,
you can chat about them, Francois.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Sweet.
So speaking of Simpsons, or back to Simpsons, Chase says Spider Pig and Harry Plopper. Yes, from the film. Yes. I didn't mind the Simpsons film. To be 100% honest, I thought it could have been better, but I'm not saying that it was terrible.
I mean, I think they took from is it Stephen King, Under the Dome, or is that someone else?
I
They
don't
took
know.
from that. There's a
Okay.
book and a show as well, Under the Dome, and that's where the Simpsons got that whole thing with like them being in a dome.
Yeah.
So that was pretty. I know I didn't particularly like the movie either. I found it a little bit boring. It was like still cool because it's the Simpsons, but
Yeah.
I would rather just put on the random episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I will say I liked oh, I don't even know if she has a name, but sorry everyone, but the lady that Homer calls a boob lady.
I'm not sure.
That one, she's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't know her name. But anyway, I thought she was pretty funny. But yeah, otherwise I felt like they could have done something a little better. But anyway, not to put Simpsons down because Simpsons have done a lot of great episodes in general, but just
So
a bit.
many.
Yeah, so Chase is confirming the Simpsons were around before season 1, and that would have been because they were on the Tracy Olsen show, I imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Alias says that he is going for a walk. No problems at all, Alias. Go right ahead. Thank you for joining us.
Have a good walk.
Yay. And so just a moment. Where are we up to? Chase says the shorts became a part of the Tracy Ullman show on April 19, 1987. Oh, cool. So they were on the Tracy Ullman show for a couple of years, and then they became.
Yeah, 89 they started as their own show.
Wow, and Chase has left us a link to the first episode in 1987. That is awesome. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. I might watch that after the chat. Jin Cat is here. Hello, Jin Cat.
Hi, Jin Cat.
Oh, I love how you're making our live impromptu chats, Jin Cat. Thank you very much. Jin Cat says, just woke Sunday morning here in Indianapolis, going on a boat in the shower soon. Hi, Alias. Hi, all. Hi, Jin Cat.
Hi, Jin Cat.
So lots of love for The Simpsons, I will say. Let's go to the next popular one in the section. See if you've watched them, Sarah, and if you have any opinions. Family Guy?
I have watched Family Guy, yes.
Any thoughts or opinions on them?
Look, I know that people find it quite controversial, that show. Some people don't like the humor in that show. I actually do enjoy the humor. There are some things that you're like, whoa, that was pretty over the top. Some of their jokes are quite confronting, right? But for the most part, I actually do enjoy that show. I think that it's, everything is on the table. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't discriminate particularly against one type of person or thing. I think it's just open to everything. And I like that.
Yeah.
As I said, I do understand that some people don't understand the humor, and there have been times where even I've been like, whoa, that's I don't particularly find that one joke funny. But I do find it, for the most part, a good show, and I find it, pretty comforting to watch. And what are your thoughts on it, though?
No, I completely agree. I love Family Guy. I'll respect if you guys out there don't like the show. If you have any comments, questions, or anything about Family Guy, or even a favorite character, or
I'm glad I'm not the only one that actually does like it.
But no, look, honestly, Sarah, to be completely honest, I love Family Guy.
I love it too. I love it.
I have a lot of mad respect for Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane is amazing. Let's talk about that for a second. He does several different voices on the show. He writes for the show, I think.
Yeah, he does.
He sings, and he does Broadway singing, and he's amazing as a singer. Like, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he's one talented dude.
I used to think that whenever they did like moments where characters would sing in the show, that they would get someone else to do it. But apparently, Seth, if he does the voice, still does the singing.
He does the singing, and I've seen him
Wow.
singing live as well, and he sounds like Brian singing when Brian sings in the show because his voice is
That's awesome.
naturally
Yeah,
very similar to Brian's. It's
yeah, yeah.
Who are sorry some
Mhm.
of your favorite characters on the show?
Number one, without a doubt, my favorite, and the reason I love it so much is Stewie.
Oh my god, me too. I was hoping you'd say him because he's my
Yay.
favorite as well.
Love him. Like
Yeah.
even back in the old days of Victory's Mine. Always like one of the things I love that Family Guy have done that Simpsons haven't, and it's totally fine that they haven't because that's just part of the way that Simpsons goes and part of Simpson lore, but is that Stewie actually talks and we as an audience can understand what he's saying,
And
unlike
Brian as
Maggie who
well.
doesn't. Yeah, and Brian as well. Yeah, absolutely. And gosh, Stewie's so smart as well.
He's so funny. So funny. He's little diabolical, evil little child, but hilarious and adorable at the same time.
Yeah.
Like so cute.
Exactly. Just quickly, Chase says regarding Simpsons that Big Bro would be Bart and Sarah would be Lisa. Aww,
Aww.
sweet. Alofa has joined us. He says, I'm here. Hi, all. Hi, Alofa.
Hi,
Thank you for being
Alofa.
here. Chase says Marissa would be Maggie. Oh.
Oh, Marissa. Yeah.
And Chase says, you stole my fave. Your favorite character?
Stewie?
Sorry, Stewie?
Yeah.
So yeah, but lots and lots of love for Stewie. I got to say, on the flip side, with Peter, some episodes I like him, some episodes I don't like Peter. I have
Exactly.
to be honest.
I know I'm the same. Some episodes I'm like, oh my god, shut up. But then, most of the time he's pretty funny. But Stewie, I will always have love for Stewie.
And I love, and therefore it should also go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I love that how every season there's a Stewie and Brian adventure episode.
Oh, I know, right? It's actually so cute because they're like best friends. Like Brian has said that he's best friends with Peter, but for a lot of the time he's most closest to Stewie.
Yeah, exactly.
I love their little bond and the adventures that they go on.
Yeah. Oh, me too. And just quickly before I abandon the others, Chris is okay, but I have a lot of issue with the fact that Meg doesn't get a lot of time, and when she does, she's put down. I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel bad for her character, and
Yeah.
obviously, her Mila Kunis does the
Yeah.
voice for her character, and is obviously happy to be in the role when Meg is getting put down quite often. I mean, she has some funny moments, Meg. She does.
True.
But
True.
yeah, for the most part, I do feel bad for her because I mean, even though she's a cartoon character,
Yeah.
it's still a bit sad,
Yeah.
And Mila Kunis said as well that sometimes she's walking down the street and has people yell out, "Shut up, Meg," to her. So
Oh no.
Mila Kunis as well.
Oh, poor Mila, and she is beautiful, Mila. I hadn't seen her in anything, so sorry I didn't watch that 70s show or wherever she was in. But I saw her do a live reading, and I swear I won tickets to those events. Family Guy does live readings on stage.
They do. I've watched one on YouTube as well.
And that's the first time I saw her. I'm like, she's stunning.
She's
I love that girl.
She's from the Ukraine. She was born in the Ukraine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she's beautiful as well. Yeah.
And we have to mention the last character in their immediate family, Alex Borstein. Love her, plays Lois. Lois, give and take. I prefer Lois to Peter, and I can understand how Lois gets frustrated with Peter sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
But I do have a lot of love for Alex Borstein, and Alex doesn't just play Lois; she plays a few characters as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly loving her character. Like, I don't watch the show wanting to see her in particular, but she is a part of the show, the family.
Did you see the crossover of Family Guy and Simpsons?
I was going to ask you that, and I forgot. And yes, I did, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. But I keep thinking of this one minor scene, but it showed a huge difference in Simpsons and Family Guy. Again, it's a minor scene out of the whole episode, and it is a scene of Lois and Marge, and they've just come back from the movies. They were watching a movie together or something, and Lois is like, "Yeah, Marge was scared when the penguins went down the hill. She had to cover her eyes, or something like that. I don't know." It's like, big difference between the mums in the show. But yeah, I didn't mind the crossover. I thought it was
I
pretty
think it was
good.
just exciting because it's two shows that we've known for a long time, and seeing them combined is like, wow, how are they going to do this? You know?
And I will say, for me, I feel more importantly, it was two shows that were at loggerheads for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then they came together and did a show together, and I just think that's wonderful that they
I
could
mean,
put all the
completely
differences aside.
different shows,
Mhm.
completely different.
Yeah.
There was one, and I don't know if I should be giving this away if people haven't seen it, but there was one part where Bart and Stewie are hanging out making prank phone calls. And, you know, Bart, you know, he does it, but he's still, you know, it's a light-hearted show, so
Lighthearted,
doesn't
yeah.
go too far. But Stewie, on the other hand, let's just say he took it a little bit too far.
Too
And
far.
it was like after it happened the first time I watched it, I was like, whoa, that escalated quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, gosh, there's so much we could talk about with that episode. If we're not going to give anything away, then I won't say anything else. But I'll say one word and then I'll move on to comments. And that word is, well, three words actually: Stewie and Nelson. That's all I'm going to say. Just imagine that, you guys, if you watch both shows and you haven't seen the crossover, Stewie and Nelson, very interesting. Chase says, yes, he was talking about Stewie being his favorite. He has a Stewie shirt, which is so cool. I wish I had one. He says, my shirt says, the difference between you and me is I'm a genius who will someday rule the world and you're just an idiot. That sounds like Stewie. So yeah, so they're all come back on the second, as is Bob's Burgers. Now, I don't know if you watch Bob's Burgers or not. A lot of people I know don't watch the show, so I wouldn't
I
be surprised.
watched it. Are you asking? Well, I don't know. I'm answering anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. I am.
I watched it a little bit.
Yep.
It used to be on TV here in Australia, I think on 11.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the animation? I know
Yes.
Family Guy, The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers are all on 11.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Those are good shows. You know, pretty lighthearted. It certainly doesn't live up to The Simpsons, Family Guy to me.
No.
But it was still pretty funny. I remember Tina and some of the funny things Tina says. And I see a lot of quotes and memes and stuff on Facebook with Tina quotes that I just love.
Yeah.
True.
So good. And Tina and I think her mum, if I'm correct, if I'm wrong in this, guys, let me know. But Tina and her mum are both actually played by a guy.
Yes, well, Tina's certainly played by a guy, and you can tell.
But I think her mum is as well.
Might be. I'm not too
surprised me because I didn't think she was. But yeah, here's the way I see it: Simpsons, Family Guy, and even South Park. They're sort of shows that I will watch at any time, sort of during the day. What I like about Bob's Burgers is, for me, I like to watch it as one of the last things I do before bed, because I don't want to say it's slow, but yeah, it's very lighthearted, very soft, very easy to watch, and yeah, so I do enjoy it.
I've actually fallen asleep to. Hold on 1 second. Earphone fell out. I've actually fallen asleep, not to Bob's Burgers, but to Family Guy before. And,
oh, there you go. Fair enough.
Did you ever get into Futurama?
I tried. I really did.
Never really did. My brother used to own like every single season on DVD. He loved it. I just personally did not get into it as much as The Simpsons, and I know it was like, you know, they branched off from that.
Yeah.
Sort of similar
nature,
but like, you know, I just couldn't get into it. The whole, I don't know what about it I couldn't get into, but
I really tried. Then I gave up. Then I ended up dating a guy who was Futurama crazy. So I was like, okay,
Oh.
fine, I'll try and get into it. And I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And yeah, no offense to like man, whoever creates Futurama, but I don't know, Simpsons are just so much better.
So much better. Oh my goodness, I could talk about The Simpsons all day.
Yay. All right, I'll get into a couple of it just quickly, and yeah, so see what we're going with on a little at a time. Very quickly, wouldn't be surprised if no one's seen it, because I don't know if anyone's come back to me saying they have, so I feel like I'm the only one that has watched the show. But have you seen a show called Lucifer?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so long story short, if you imagine one of the Law and Order shows, but with no court cases, and imagine that one of the people that joins the detectives is Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
And you got Lucifer. And I thought it was going to be all about, like, Lucifer comes down to Earth, and that's how he joins the detectives. But I thought it was going to be about Lucifer coming down to Earth, and we get to know about Lucifer. No, it's basically a detective show.
Oh,
So,
that's quite interesting.
yeah, it is a little bit. So yeah, if you want to watch that, that comes back Australian Eastern Standard Time, 3rd of October. But the one that I definitely
My
want.
birthday, it comes back, does it?
Oh, yay! There you go. Yes. So if you're, around 11 a.m. And just the last one I want to talk about, because it is definitely one I'm going to cover. So many of you have been coming back to me saying, please, Francois, cover this show. I will. I saw the first season. Don't worry, I definitely will. 12th of October, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock a.m. on the CW network, Riverdale.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited for Riverdale to be coming back. I don't know if you've seen season 1 or not. I know some people haven't seen the first season.
No, I've seen it advertised and I haven't actually watched it. It's another one that I have wanted to get into, though. Because a lot of people have said, if you liked Pretty Little Liars, yes, the show we don't mention, but I mentioned it anyway.
Go ahead.
Oh, fear of a name only increases the fear of the thing itself, or whatever.
Yeah, go Hermione. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people said if you like that, then you might like Riverdale. So
yeah, I do look upon Riverdale as a fantastic compromise to Pretty Little Liars. Yeah, so for the sake of the mystery, I love the mystery side of it. And what is interesting is that they set up season 2 right at the end of season 1. So rather than going into something completely fresh in the second season, we sort of know what we're trying to investigate already by the end of season 1. I mean, yeah, it's a good show. The reveal in season 1 was fantastic. I won't give it away because you haven't seen it, but it was brilliant. I did not suspect that person at all, and I was completely blown away. And then I come to PLL's finale and go, oh my God, what the hell? So
we've got some comments here. Jin Cat said, watched one Lucifer episode. It's okay, but not my cup of tea.
Completely agree with you, Jin Cat. I stuck it out hoping it would get better and better, and it didn't. So don't worry about the fact you only saw one episode. Yeah.
Jin Cat also said, I liked Haven. I'm not sure what that is.
Haven? I haven't seen Haven.
And
Sorry.
Riverdale is cool.
Yes, Riverdale is cool.
And Annabelle Foster is here.
Hi, Annabelle Foster.
And said, Riverdale is a good dose of guilty pleasure drama.
Oh, so true. It is. It's really good. Once again, like with Pretty Little Liars, we find ourselves in, how do I say this, Drop Dead Gorgeous Modelville, where only people that are TV pretty are hired. But yeah, completely agree. It's a great show. Ticks all the boxes, and especially if you love mysteries, for sure ticks all the boxes. And I can understand why you would consider it a guilty pleasure as well. I do myself. Oh, and lastly, I do just want to bring this up. Sorry, do we have any other comments or?
Oh, Jin Cat said, I did figure it out on Riverdale too.
Yep.
And also, Haven is a supernatural show of a small town with the troubles.
Oh.
What Jin Cat said.
That sounds interesting.
What were you going to say?
I was going to also say, I don't know if people watch this or not, but I didn't mention it. On the 2nd of October, one of my favorite shows, and again, like I do with Survivor, how I'm like, watch Survivor, US version. I'm going to do the same thing here. The 2nd of October, 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Season 9, Episode 1 of the US version of Shark Tank. I love the US version. It is so good. The Australian one is okay.
I've watched the Australian one.
Yeah. What did you think of the Australian one?
No, I didn't really get into it, to be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, having seen both, the Australian one is a pale imitation compared to the American one. The American one is so good. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And I don't know why I have a show here, because look at my calendar that I created, I keep telling everyone about. I have a show here called The Shannara Chronicles. Maybe it's one I intended to watch and never did.
I have seen that on advertised on Netflix.
Okay.
And, I don't know. I have to look that one up. But I think I read the read up for it and said, "Oh yeah, I'll find that interesting," and then forgot about it. So
yeah, I think it was the same with me. Because I don't know.
Quickly, let me just
yeah, go ahead.
Google.
While you're doing that, I want to ask you guys out there that are listening to us, if anyone has seen the American drama series Beyond. I used to love Beyond. I've been wondering for a while what the heck it was called, and I just recently refound it. If you did watch it, I'm just wondering if they're going to come back for a season 2. If you haven't seen it, basically the show is about this guy who ends up in an accident. He goes unconscious. While he's unconscious, he's in another world and stuff happens. He wakes up and we eventually find out that both worlds actually exist, and he has to go and do something in that other world. And he does by the end of the first season. It's really good. The way they ended the finale was brilliant. But I'm wondering if they're coming back for another season. So if anyone knows anything about Beyond, let me know.
So for the Shannara Chronicles,
yep.
They say, it says on Google, based on the best-selling fantasy book series by Terry Brooks, the Shannara Chronicles follows heroes in the Four Lands as they embark on a quest to stop an evil demon army from destroying the universe.
Ooh.
There's a bit more.
Go ahead.
1 second, you continue talking.
Yep, no problems. So I guess one of the first questions that I have for that, and I'll ask when Sarah comes back, and anyone who knows me would probably assume I would ask this question. I love my supernatural shows, but I don't like horse shows with swords. So I'm just wondering, are there horses and swords in the show? I feel like I shouldn't say that, but for me personally, I don't like medieval type shows. So I'm sorry that Game of Thrones will not be covered on my channel, and I can't apologize for that enough because a lot of people love that show. But at the end of the day, I do feel like I can only do my best authentic work with shows that I actually watch, and I can't bring myself to watch Game of Thrones. So I feel like I would be doing everyone a disservice by covering a show that I don't watch or don't have an interest in. So I apologize about that. But yeah, that would have been.
Sorry about that.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
My mum just interrupted to say, Sarah, I've seen the Shannara Chronicles and they're really good. And she said that season 3 is coming soon. So,
wonderful, Sarah's mum.
She's seen it.
Oh, thank you for that, Sarah's mum. We appreciate that.
So I said, thank you for that, Sarah's mum.
Excellent. Annabelle says it sounds a bit like Mortal Instruments.
Never heard of that.
Interesting. So yeah, so it's also like what's the series I watch? It's funny. What's the series I watch? Oh goodness me.
Annabelle, I don't know if you read
Shadowhunters. Go ahead.
I don't know if you read this out that Francois said that Annabelle said, "Lol, Francois. I thought I was the only one who didn't watch Game of Thrones."
Yay, Annabelle! I'm glad.
I haven't watched it either, Annabelle. A lot of my family watches it and loves it. My mum is probably listening. She loves the show, but I just have not gotten into Game of Thrones yet.
Yeah. And yeah, so I was making the point just a moment ago, Sarah, while you were talking to your mum about the Sarah Chronicles, or the
Shannara.
I've watched every episode, clearly. About that, I was saying when it comes to Game of Thrones, I feel like, I'm sorry that I'm not covering it, but I feel like because I don't watch it, I wouldn't be legitimately covering a review. I wouldn't be able to be completely authentic.
And from what I hear, the show is quite in depth. There's a lot of action, a lot of things happening a lot of the time. And so I just feel like that would be a lot to talk about. I mean, I guess it would be good for people that watch it, but yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's probably too hard to talk about.
Yeah, get talked about. So Chase says he hasn't seen it either. Yay! And gosh, I will not. I promise you, do not watch Game of Thrones video. But yay! Jin Cat says already a bunch of Game of Thrones stories out there anyway. And Chase saying he doesn't watch Game of Thrones either. Now, with the Chronicle show, does it contain horses and swords?
If you're asking me, I have no clue.
If anyone knows if the show includes horses and swords, please let me know, because unfortunately for me, that is a very good turn off. I was just saying before, I don't like
There is a little bit more of a write-up about it. I just didn't read the entire thing.
Okay.
So it said, thousands of years after the fall of humankind, the world's fate rests on the shoulders of an unlikely trio. Elven princess Amberly, who dreams of a life outside the palace walls. Beautiful, wild, and wily human rover Eretria, I don't know how to say that, and half-elf Will, who knows nothing of the great destiny that runs through his veins.
Ooh.
I mean, that sounds quite interesting, you know, like
it does,
elven, you know, like half-elf. I mean, that's quite fantasy, like enough that I would get into it.
Yeah.
So it could be interesting. I guess it's one of those things where you give it a watch and see if the first episode intrigues you.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely give it a go and see what I think. I'll definitely let you all know about that. And Alias is back, so welcome back, Alias.
Mum would just like to let me and everyone know that it has Australian actors in it. She just wanted to let me
know. Thank you for telling us that. Does she know which ones?
Do you know which ones, Mother? She's like, no. Probably not that we'd know, but we'll get into that another time, I guess.
Sure, no problems. Thanks, Alias, Mum.
Did you say Alias is back?
Yes, I did. Alias has come back.
Alias.
So I don't know how much longer we're going to be here. We have sort of gone over the time whether we were going to be here, but I do quickly want to discuss the possibility of another show that I'm going to cover this year. Now, according to everything that I've done with my research, apparently the show is going to come back this year, but we don't have an actual date, which is really annoying me. Anyone who, has heard of any TV show, I am sure has heard of the multiple versions of The Real Housewives in America.
Yes.
I am going to be covering The Real Housewives of Melbourne.
How about I look up the date for season 4? Because it is season 4.
Go ahead. Because I can't find it. So if you can find it, go you.
Really?
I'll give you a nice little medal if you can. All I could get was 2017.
Season 4. I think they're still filming, or they might have just finished filming.
But it is a fantastic show, The Real Housewives of Melbourne. A lot of great personalities on that show. And I used to actually cover it on my channel. I think you can still find it if you go like way far back in my videos. I think I covered it last year. But yeah, it's a good show. It's reached America because it is being shown in the States at the moment, which is really cool. But yeah, it's a wonderful show.
I'm very excited for it. We've spoken about this before. It's a show that I think is freaking awesome. It's funny. I love a few of the people in it. I'm just reading someone writing about it online, and they said I need my Gina Liano fix, and I think
yay! I would agree with that. I need my Gina too. Hello, Gina.
Give me 1 second. You keep talking about that.
Yeah, no problems. We'll do. Okay, so there have been some cast changes over time, but looking forward to going into season 4, we have some cast members that remain that have been there since the get-go. So we have a lady by the name of Lydia Chavello.
Yeah.
Lydia is an aspiring, or is, either way, interior designer.
Yep. She's married. She's got a son or a stepson.
Yep.
Yep.
And I forgot the word, but she's I would honestly refer to Lydia as the cheeky one. She brings
She's naughty.
yeah, she's very naughty. She brings up some random things that certainly make your eyes open wide.
Her very funny catchphrase. Well, we've coined it her catchphrase because she says "wow" a lot. In this particular accent, which is Australian, of course, but she's very proper sounding. So she's like, wow. And it's just very funny.
It is. When we got to one of the reunions, they actually did a thing where they just cut together like all the time she said wow. So it's coming out as wow, 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 wow.
Type thing.
In a montage, yeah. It was so funny. So that's Lydia. There is, I'm trying to get through the ones that aren't our favourites first. There is
Janet.
Janet, that's right. Good old Janet Roach. Janet is easily the oldest member of the bunch.
How old would you even say she is?
God, I'm way too scared to offend.
Late 50s? No, 60s maybe. I mean, she's getting up there.
But she doesn't let her age get her down.
Certainly not.
Yeah, so she's very interesting one. I don't really have much else to say about Janet, but
she's fun. She can stir up a little bit of drama. For the most part, she likes to have fun and, stuff like that. I think she is. What does she do for work?
I don't think Janet does work. I think
she does. It's the same as what Petty Fleur does, but I can't remember specifically.
Oh.
Is.
Okay.
Like she designs buildings or something.
Oh.
Janet,
there you go.
Let me just quickly
go ahead.
move on.
Look right.
You know what? It's not really saying anything. But yeah. Anyway, she's pretty cool, I guess.
Cool.
She's not one of our favorites.
No. But these next two are the final two that have been in there since season 1 and are still going to be there in season 4. Which one should we talk about next?
Who do we have left? I know we have. Are we saying Petty Fleur? Because we don't like her and she's leaving.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the ones that are still there in season 4 that have been there from the beginning. So we've said Janet, we've said Lydia.
We'll talk about Chica.
Chica. Unfortunately, Chica's leaving. But we have a lot of love for Chica. Chica's basically Miss Switzerland. She is she's pretty awesome in her own way. She doesn't like to get involved too much in the drama, so that's why she's nicknamed Miss Switzerland. But Chica is actually, I have a lot of mad respect for Chica. Chica runs a company called The Big Group, which is it's a company here in Australia, but she's also done quite a bit of work overseas with her company. They are an events and catering company, and they've been doing very, very well.
Sorry about that. I had technical difficulties again.
That's okay. I was just talking about with Chica, despite the fact that she's not coming back, how she and her husband founded and run The Big Group. It's a catering company. They're very successful, not only here, but in other parts of the world.
Very successful, business-driven woman, but so friendly, so kind, and very family-oriented as well.
That's true. She is very family-oriented. And I explained it before how she used to be nicknamed Miss Switzerland. Definitely. She would never get involved with arguments or whatever, unless it was a personal attack on her.
Yeah, but she was very diplomatic at the same time.
Yes, that's true.
Can we just talk about my favourite one?
Yes.
I know that you have 2 favourites, but
I do. She's my second favourite. Your favourite, yeah.
On to Jackie.
Jackie Gillies. Go ahead, Sarah.
Gillies is so funny. So she's an Australian and maybe even world-known psychic medium. So she does readings for people. She's very well known. She's booked up for quite a bit in advance for her psychic medium readings.
That's true.
She came in season 1 as actually the new girl. So the other girls had sort of already known each other, and Jackie had come in as the new girl.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because she's from Newcastle, Australia. She wasn't that fancy. She's a bit of a rock chick. She can be a bit, a bit rough around the edges, which we love. Her husband, Ben
Yes.
Gillies, if you guys don't know the band, there's a band that's been around a long time in Australia, probably from the 90s they started. Silverchair, and he was
Silverchair. Yeah.
the drummer, I think.
Yes, he was.
The drummer of Silverchair. So
Yeah.
she mentions plenty of times her hot rock star husband. My husband's a rock star, musician.
That's
But
true.
she's funny. She constantly mentions her psychic vibes. So
Yes.
she's constantly picking up on things. It creates a little bit of conflict. I
Yep.
love it though. I think it's funny. Her, she's always talking about her angels, and
Yep.
they go into business and start a liquor brand as well.
That's true.
So
Um,
pretty funny. I love her.
oh my goodness me. It used to always be on the tip of my tongue. Um,
Ah,
Mascara.
La Mascara.
La Mascara, yeah. Never tried it. Oh, actually, wait, that's not true. I did try it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Mm.
But yeah, no, Jackie's great. And as Sarah said, she's always talking about her spiritual side and things, and she has these great saying like the angels are talking to me and stuff like that. And I'm
I've
getting
got a
this
psychic
psychic
vibe coming on
vibe.
it.
Yes,
And she
but
has this particular catchphrase, which is
yep,
shine, 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 which
yeah,
basically means, positive vibes, shine, be positive, light and love, and kind of that kind of thing. But she says, shine,
yeah.
shine, shine.
Yeah. So, like, say if you're a religious person, you might say, God bless. Jackie says, shine, 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 as Sarah was saying, like love and all that. But it's wonderful. She always says it. Much as Lydia had a wow montage, Jackie had a shine, shine, shine
Definitely.
montage. And it's interesting, as everyone knows, with every Real Housewives franchise, there is an intro that is done where everyone has their own line. And Jackie's line in the very first season is, "My husband might be a rock star, but now it's my turn to shine, shine, shine." And she'll just always say it, shine, 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 shine.
Literally. She's like, girls, it's time to shine, shine, shine. Have a good day. Things like that.
Oh, we love it. We love her.
We love her. And then you can do the honors with your favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Gina Liano. Oh, she is amazing. Um, and so Gina describes herself basically as a fabulous drag queen. But even though she's a woman, like she's actually a woman,
She's
but she
not a
looks like a
drag
drag queen.
queen, but her makeup and her style, she's coined herself that because
Yeah.
she can look like a drag queen
Yes.
sometimes.
Very over the top with makeup, big hair, sparkly outfits, very much. But yeah, like in her own fabulous way. But what makes Gina more impressive to me even than that is, as fabulous as she is, her job is that she's actually a barrister.
Yeah.
So
Do you
while
want to
the
give a little explanation of what a barrister is?
I'm gonna try, considering I study more American
It's
law.
sort of like a lawyer, but different, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, if we say lawyer, it is different, but it will give you some sort of an idea.
She does wear the
What she does.
fancy wigs and everything.
Yes, because in Australia and I think in the UK as well, wigs are worn by
Yeah, by
barristers.
barristers.
So yeah, so interestingly for Gina, like a typical filming day for her would be she would wake up, go try a case, come back home, get changed, film Real Housewives of Melbourne, and do it all over again. I was
Yeah,
reading an article recently that she did with one of our newspapers, and she was saying exactly that. Like, my life was exhausting because I literally wouldn't stop. Like, I would only stop to sleep.
but good on her for doing it though. And she
Very
did
much so.
get a lot of criticism from a lot of the other girls on the show, but she stood her ground and she
Sure
stuck
did.
strong. And she also, I'm not sure if she wrote a book. I can't.
She did.
She wrote a book, and she also brought out, I think, her own perfume range as well.
I
And
have
shoe
it, yep.
range. And shoe
And
range.
shoe range, yep.
So go, Gina. She is a firecracker.
Barrister, Real Housewife, shoes, fragrance, book. Wow.
Wow.
Completely.
Wow.
Wow. So yes, and lastly, just quickly, there is someone called Gamble. There's not really much to say about Gamble. Yeah, she's great and all that. Like, I don't really have too many issues with her, but she's sort of a side person. And the reason I say that is because she came in on season 2, and she hasn't.
With another woman, didn't she? She came in with Petty Fleur. Fleur?
Yes, with someone called Petty Fleur. That's correct. And Petty Fleur, Pocket Rocket, small woman in stature, very big
Absolutely
personality.
annoying, in my opinion.
I will never forget. Gina always stands up for herself, and Gina once said to Petty Fleur, "I don't need your opinion." And Petty Fleur said, "Well, I just gave it to you."
Oh, it's so funny from the arguments that those two, especially when Gina was having a laugh and being sarcastic. That's very funny.
So yeah, if you ever get the chance, even if you don't watch episodes or whatever, go on YouTube, look up The Real Housewives of Melbourne. It is really funny and it is a good show, and definitely one I'm going to be covering when it comes
And I think
back.
it's different. Not that I've watched them, but I do actually think it's different from the American version.
It is. After
I think that the characters are a lot more. There's a lot more to them. Not saying that the American ones don't have their own things, but I just find the Melbourne ones in Australia very, very interesting people. They're all very different. They've all got their things, and yeah.
No, I completely agree. And you guys know, like, seriously, red, white, and blue, Star Spangled Banner, Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, I'm USA all the way.
All the
But
way.
there is an exception when it comes to The Real Housewives. After my success of loving season 1, and the Real Housewives of Melbourne captured my attention in season 1, I went, yay, I'm going to watch an American version. I'll start with New York. I have to say, I got about 10 minutes in and went, yeah, this is not for me. And that's no offense. Some people probably love Real Housewives of New York or whatever, some of the others, and that's great. But you will find, if you have seen some of the American ones and then you watch Real Housewives of Melbourne, there is a difference to it. And so it is the one time I actually applaud Australia.
Oh, Australia. Well,
Yeah, never thought we'd say that here. Comment below and let me know, but go Australia.
And, yeah, both Francois and I are very unpatriotic. We're not particularly a fan of Australian TV shows.
No.
We do enjoy American culture.
We do.
So that's a big thing for us both to say.
True. And actually, I will say one thing quickly that I found really interesting. I was talking to some Australians recently. We've had this chat in comment below and let me know about how Americans have said that they, when it comes to the news, don't really get news from all over the world. I've spoken to quite a few people about things that have happened recently in America, like Charlottesville and Texas and all that. A lot of people have come back to me and said, "What the heck are you talking about?" And they're Australian.
Really?
So that, yeah, which really surprised me, and I sort of thought, wow, like, if not for comment below and let me know, I probably wouldn't have learned about it either, which surprised me. And then again, I don't watch the news.
I don't either. I don't, and I used to. And Australia's usually pretty good at covering everything worldwide.
Yeah.
But I agree, Facebook is my source of news these days. I don't even need to watch the news because you know what? Guaranteed I'm going to see it on Facebook. And I have a lot of Americans. I have people from all different countries as friends on Facebook. So you're finding the information on there. Don't even worry about it.
Couple of characters and voila, you know what's going on.
Exactly.
So let's get some comments quickly. Alias says, does anyone know a good murder mystery? Good question. Certainly not at the moment that we haven't mentioned. So like Sinner, I would recommend. Although what makes Sinner interesting, again, without giving anything away, murder occurs. I won't say anything else. But instead of trying to work out who killed the person, we're trying to work out why they killed the person, which makes it very intriguing because it's something different.
Yeah.
Riverdale will be dealing with a murder. If you haven't seen season 1, watch season 1, and you'll know that season 2 is absolutely dealing with a murder mystery. Yeah, but I can't think of any others. But I used to read something which is going to sound so random. I used to read the Clue series. Did you know that Clue had its own series?
No, well, I'm not sure actually.
Do you know of Cluedo the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has its own book series.
Really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
I used to
that's
read
pretty
them.
cool,
It's great. And they would have like mini books in like novel length books. There will be mini books and you would be trying to work out who it was. And then when it got to the end of the mini book, it would say, with all these clues, try and work out who it is. The answer is on the next page.
You know what? Just like
Really cool.
slightly off that subject, but still on
Yeah.
the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've mentioned this before, but I still would love to go to a murder mystery weekend thing. I think that would be the funnest thing ever. And
Same.
actually, on Real Housewives of Melbourne, they did a murder mystery evening. And I think that would be so funny to be in character, and you know, you all get your cards and you could be the murderer, you don't know. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be so fun.
So true. I'm just remembering the episode.
I mean, in the episode, they really butchered it because they were kind of all not really on the ball with it, and they were kind of like, "Wait, who's this person? Who's that person?" I'm confused.
And then inadvertently, the murderer gave themselves away. But yeah, no, to go to an actual one, yeah, completely agree. I think that would be so much
fun. But yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
No, I'm glad you did. Anytime you can bring up How to Get Away with Murder, and I will say again, anytime anyone can bring up Harry Potter, please do so. Okay. A-List says, does How to Get Away with Murder get better after like episode 5? Yes, I may have done the same thing as you did, A-List. I watched a couple of episodes and then I went away from it. I do not remember why I walked away, but I did. Then I came back to it and I stuck it out, binge watched the rest of season 1 and half of season 2 because it was like a year later. And it was, yeah, it gets so much better as time goes on, for sure. Annabelle Foster says, have any of you seen the terrible Adelaide spin-off version of Housewives, Yummy Mummies? It's terrible. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't even heard of it, to be honest.
I've heard of it. I've heard people talking about it. And yeah, from what I've heard, people are saying it's quite terrible. But yeah, no, I haven't seen that. So I'm glad that you're saying that as well, because it's not enticing me to want to watch it. So
I'm so glad that you think of Housewives of Melbourne is amazing, because we agree.
Yeah, that's all anyone needs to know. Housewives of Melbourne is amazing. Exactly right. And Chase says, I had to order younger seasons 1 to 3 from Australia. That's true. I was helping Chase with that. Chase didn't order through one of the stores we have in Australia called JB.
But
yeah, that was
were they the correct type of DVDs?
Oh, that's actually a good point.
So keep that in mind.
That's actually a very good point. I didn't think about that.
Could be different.
That's right, because we're region 4.
We're region 4, so I'm sorry to be the bad guy and bring that up, Chase. But if you do order from Australia, you need to look at the region of the DVD, because your DVD players over there play different region DVDs. You can buy multi-region DVD players. So yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Okay.
Fine.
True.
See how go. Yes. If it's not the right region, then you might have to they play on them. If they you got a region-free DVD. That's great. So glad about that.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. But
it did play.
If you order from overseas, check the region of your DVDs, because it might not play on your plane.
That's a good point.
And I know nothing about Younger other than it's got Hilary Duff in it. Am I correct? Am I wrong?
Oh, is that the one that I keep planning on watching? It is. I have the first episode ready to go, you guys, and I've had it ready to go for quite some time, and I still haven't seen it.
I still love Hilary Duff, so the fact that she's in it is pretty cool.
No, it can't tell me that. Oh, wait, maybe it can. No, it can't tell me how long I've had it, but I've had the first episode for ages, kept meaning to watch it, but I haven't seen it yet. And a lot of people are telling me that even though it's over and with the new season starting, I have to watch, what's this other show? Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Yeah, everyone's telling me to watch Big Little Lies with Reese
Um,
Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman and Shailene Woodley.
Oh, okay. So that we've got some well-known people in that.
Yeah. So I watched the first episode. I thought it was okay, but I'd heard so much about it that I thought it would be better than it was. So if you guys have seen Big Little Lies and you can definitely tell me for sure that it gets better, please let me know. I'm a huge fan of Shailene Woodley. I love...
A Secret American.
Oh, yeah, that too. Secret Life of American Teenager. I loved that series. Oh, my God. Yeah,
I'm
go
just going
ahead.
to quickly interrupt for a second and
Yeah.
say that it's 1:23
That's
a.m.
true.
here, so we will probably head off at about 1:30.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we will. We'll definitely be heading off very at 1:30 for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Secret Life, just quickly, because I have to find this person because I had an obsession during that show, and what the hell was his name?
Ricky?
No, the other one.
Ben?
His name in the show is Jack. His name in real life is Greg Finley. I had a huge obsession with Jack.
I can't even remember. I mean, I don't even know how far. I did watch it. I definitely watch it, and I might actually watch it again. Thank you for reminding me because I think I might get into it.
So yeah, Ben.
I always get into the old shows, not the new ones.
No, that's fine, and it was a good show. It was a terrible finale, but it was a great show though.
Different people's definition of great, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. So no, I loved it, and Jack plays the role of a jock guy, but he's a really nice, kind jock guy, as you would hope to expect with shows like Secret Life. I feel like Secret Life is almost, in a way, in a small, tiny way, like a teenage version of Seventh Heaven.
It is. It kind of reminds me of that, like a family-oriented.
Yeah.
You know, the struggles that teenagers and families go through. It has Molly Ringwald in it. I remember that.
And she plays...
Do you remember who Molly Ringwald is? You know, she obviously plays in 80s teenage films, and she's the mother in the show.
She did? Oh, she did too. Okay, you're absolutely right. Yes, and the mum, what's her name? Amy's mum. Yeah.
Jurgens or whatever.
Yeah, Amy Jurgens. Yeah. That's right.
So Chase said that they do play, which is really good. And said, "Lol, Sarah's like, oh, never mind." But yeah, I just need to let people know in case they are ordering from overseas. I know that some people make that mistake and don't think about it. The DVDs. Annabelle Foster said, and this is a really great question.
Yeah.
If someone made a Marauders movie / prequel to Harry Potter with the First War, would you watch Annabelle? Hell yes.
Yeah, Annabelle, undoubtedly, yes. I think that would be amazing to watch. I actually, a couple of days ago, as some of you are aware, I read a lot of fan fiction, and the other day I purposefully went on a search for any fan fiction written about Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. I found one. The writing, though, was shocking. And when writing's shocking, I can't read a book. But yeah, I would love something like that. How great would it be to see the First War?
I would love a prequel. Yeah. I think that that's something that they could do. I mean, if J.K. Rowling wrote a sort of book more geared towards that, I think everyone would be so into that.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, I don't even know why she hasn't yet.
Yeah, good point.
JK, if you're listening, Joanne, please do that for us.
And who said that? Was that Annabelle Foster that said that?
Annabelle, yes.
Yeah. So JK, contact Annabelle Foster. I think she's she's owed some royalties before we even begin. It's a really good idea. Excellent.
Chase says Kelly watches it, and I'm guessing he's talking about Younger, and it does have Hilary Duff in it.
Excellent. Yep. Wonderful. Love Kelly. Definitely will always give her a shout out. Get onto Kelly TV. She's fantastic. Yep.
Would you like to read some comments, Francois?
Oh, sure. I was enjoying you reading them there. Okay. Annabelle Foster says, speaking of BLL, do you mean PLL or BLL? Sometimes it's not as effective of a show if there are too many well-known actors over...
Someone mentioned the show with Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, Big Little Lies, I was.
Yeah.
Thank you. So sorry. And I actually do that myself. I do acronyms. Not so long ago I was saying DDD to Sarah about Drop Dead Diva. I do acronyms with all of my shows, and I didn't even realize what she was referring to. Yeah, you're right, Big Little Lies. Sometimes it's not as effective of a show, if there is too many well-known actors over just good actors. Sometimes it overcrowds the story. Completely agree. There was a film that came out quite a while ago, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it was called Steel Magnolias. Steel Magnolias had a fantastic, stellar cast. I remember seeing the ads for it going, oh my God, I'm going to like make popcorn and watch this thing, you know, and let me tell you, I was highly disappointed in the film. I found it to be quite crap. But you're quite. And like, I have to say, Sally Field, Dolly Parton, Shirley MacLaine, Julia Roberts, you know, and that's just some of them. Like, it had a great cast. The film itself, ugh, not worth it. Not worth the popcorn.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, no, not at all. I really found it to be terrible. No offense. If you guys liked it, that's totally fine. But I just did not like it at all.
So Chase said, oh wait, yep. Chase said,
Nice.
yep, I bought a region-free DVD player to watch the DVDs.
Well
I
done.
bought ahead of time and ordered the DVD player before the DVDs.
Excellent.
And then Chase said they got movies that will have the first war in it.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know what you mean.
Is he referring to Harry Potter?
I think so. And then everyone is clarifying that they did mean what Annabelle meant. Big
Little Lies. Oh, how
Little
sweet. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, well, I think what we might do is very quickly have a moment of silence. It is 1:29 a.m.
Yeah.
So let's do our moment of silence. I don't know if Alias is still with us, but this is our wonderful comment below and let me know moment of silence brought to us by the wonderful Alias. He's the inventor of moment of silence, and we thank him for that. But I'm just trying to think of what we should have the moment of silence for. Any suggestions? I sort of backed myself with that one going, let's do it. Oh, now what should we do it for? Anyone want to quickly type a suggestion? Feel free while I quickly think what we should have a moment of silence for. And if we don't come up with anything, we'll just have a general one.
Just a general silence.
Oh, excellent. Thanks, Chase. That'd be great. You can send me the names. Yeah, all right. Maybe we should have a general one. All right, everyone, so we'll have a general moment of silence. Thinking good and happy thoughts. I mean, as great as some parts of the world is, you know, I feel like, yeah, there could always be improvements.
And also based on, you know, the chat we did earlier with the same-sex marriage survey and all that happening here, definitely keep that in your mind and your thoughts. So we'll.
It's so good because Annabelle Foster just said for marriage equality in light of the plane. In light of the plane that wrote "No" in the sky today. Yes,
yeah, we saw that earlier.
Did we chat about that live or not really?
No, but you did send a photo.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great idea, Annabelle.
Absolutely.
So.
Yes, we'll definitely do that. So moment of silence for marriage equality in general, and also in light of the plane that wrote "No" in the sky. Let's hope that everything will change. All right, so moment of silence starts now. Thank you. That was rather lovely. I always love the energy when we have moment of silence.
Definitely.
Excellent. All right. Well, first of all, you guys, I want to thank everyone that's coming to the chat. It never ceases to amaze me, and Sarah's done a few of these now, so she can probably agree with what I'm saying here, that impromptu chats, they just come up out of nowhere and people still come along to them. Like, I'm always thinking no one will come, and people do.
And it's really fun because we don't have a particular topic, so we just go on about whatever comes out, and it ends up being quite fun.
It always does, yeah. So thank you very much to everyone who has shown up today. Good morning, afternoon, or good evening to you, depending upon where you are. Sarah, as always, I want to thank you for joining me on this chat. Always a lot of fun when we're
You are
listening
most
to them.
welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, I'll certainly talk to you all very, very soon. I hope you enjoy what's left of the rest of your weekend and that you have a very good week. Do not forget that I will be back with all of you very, very soon. I'll be back with all of you on my Wednesday, most likely American Tuesday, with a review of American Horror Story. But if there's anything else you would like to talk about, and if you do have an interest in the Simpsons chat or anything else that we have spoken about today, please feel free to leave them in the comments section when the video does upload. But until then, much love to all of you. Give someone you love a hug today and let them know you love them, and make love and not war.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.